With WWE interested in bringing a tag team back to the company and more, this is Wrestling Hub. My name is John and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Hub Official and follow us on Twitter at Wrestling_Hub. Recalling his 56-minute match against John Cena on Raw in April of 2007, Shawn Michaels revealed on WWE's The Bump that the hardest thing is, like, geez man, we just did 13 days over here. This is the end of the tour, and John and I had to go an hour. No, look, there is no better guy to do it with than John, honestly. And I'll say this, it sounds strange, but because, you know, it's not a full hour, and you feel like in your mind, even though you're not dealing with commercial breaks, it was really easy. John is such a dream to work with. John and I got along very well. It was a fantastic night, and I had a chemistry with John that was darn near effortless. It was absolutely a piece of cake because, you know, it was just a lot of fun. With the wrestling on WWE's main event taping last month, Kylie Rae revealed this about her future in the company on the Going Broadway podcast. Never say never. To my knowledge, not in the Rumble. As far as something long-term at this point, I got the not right now deal, which is okay. If it's meant to be, it'll happen. If it's meant to be, it would have happened. It's more so, they're having us still come back for extra work. I was there this past Friday and the Friday before. Speaking about his boss and AEW president Tony Khan, commentator for the company Tony Schiavone said on his podcast, Tony is very demanding of a boss and it makes, at times, the week very difficult. But wrestling has always been difficult. There's never been ease. Tony can be very demanding, as a boss can be, but because he's such a great person and such a genuine person and loves the wrestling business and takes care of his people, it's worth it working for him. It's worth the stress that we go through getting the show on because of the person that he is. I know a lot of people give Tony a hard time, but the people who give Tony a hard time online or as human beings, not worth it. On that same show, it was revealed by Conrad Thompson that Tony Khan will be taking care of Jay Briscoe's family following his passing. I don't mean to betray any confidences, but let me say this. There's lots of rumors and innuendo from really good sources that Tony Khan is who we thought he was, and he's going to do the right thing by that family as well. I don't think he would necessarily want anybody to know that information, and I know it's not your place to talk about it, but I will say that for all the criticism that gets thrown around, Tony this, Tony that, when the chips are down, he's a dude. As WWE has announced that Cody Rhodes will be entering the Royal Rumble, his wife Brandi gave an update on him telling 10 Count, as far as wrestling is concerned, for me the most intriguing story is Cody trying to capture his dream. It's been so fantastic except for the injury portion, but it's just been really great to see him reconnect with this audience, kind of be completely welcome back home, coming back to WWE, and for them to have his back in this journey. It's really, really fun to see, and I'm excited for him to get back. All of the work that he's been doing to get back has been really good. I went with him to his physical therapist yesterday to finally see, because he's been ragging on me the entire time. You haven't come. So I'm like, okay, I'm coming to see. And I was really impressed with how he looks now. He doesn't look like anything happened, which is crazy because he had major surgery, so he looks like the same Cody to me. The muscle mass is all there. He looks ready to me. Recalling his match against John Cena from Raw in July of 2015 where he broke Cena's nose, Seth Rollins revealed the aftermath of the bout, saying to CBS Atlanta 92.8's The Game Mornings, "I apologized profusely. John Cena and I wrestled a million times and every once in a while you'd get a clunker in there. But this one was just, for some reason, I just made real contact with his face and rearranged it pretty bad." After making a joke about putting a gun in his mouth 12 weeks after the passing of his son, Kevin Nash has responded to those concerned for him, saying on his podcast, "So for the people that don't know, the easiest way for me to explain this is, so I did the thing last week, and I mean, I'm not saying that I'm not in a great place, but I promise you, everybody out there, this whole week, people have been saying, man, we need you. We love you. You were one of the best big men. If you're trying to save my life, you better say I'm the best big man, okay? Emily Sherman, Brad Siegel's niece, but she worked for us. I think she worked in international or whatever when we were in WCW. Her and Scott started dating. She would travel with us a lot on the road when we would go from town to town, especially from Nitro to Thunder. It was always this ongoing thing where they would say, well, what do you guys think about that? Scott and I would both say, yeah. As soon as we get done sticking a pistol in our mouth, they would say, oh, that's not funny. And Scott would say, it is because we're going to leave a note. A couple people buzzed her and they're like, hey, your boy Nash, I think he's in trouble. She watches it and pops. She's like, oh, they don't know the skit. They don't know it's the note. You know, it's like, that's what makes it funny. Last week I made some off-color remarks, but for anybody out there, I would never do anything to harm myself. I guess people don't realize I have a wife that's been with me for 35 years. It's never been about me. I drive an '05 Mustang. I know it sounds like that skit from Saturday Night Live where I drive a Dodge Stratus, but I drive a 2005 Mustang. I don't give a damn. It's never been about me. It's about the people that I take care of, and that's your job. Your job is to provide and protect. That's your job. Speaking about the rumored heat Braun Strowman had for his previous comments about high-flying wrestlers, Ricochet said to Digital Spy, I think the internet cares more about it than the wrestlers do. For the most part, everybody backstage, they just want to make something together. They want to make a work of art for you guys. I don't think anyone really cares about these styles of anyone else. So if you're really hearing it, it's usually from more of the internet speakers than it actually is the locker room. With Raw celebrating its 30th anniversary tonight, it seems a planned segment has been nixed, as F4W Online wrote, regarding the questions on the changing of the Bloodline segment from an acknowledgement ceremony with the family of Roman Reigns to the trial of Sami Zayn. Rumors regarding this had to do with The Rock pulling out or Vince McMahon changing things are both false. Rock was never booked for the segment. The change was made because Afa and Sika and Rikishi were all not going to be able to be there. They were to be the key people, but Afa and Sika were not ready for the trip, and Rikishi got sick this week, so the idea basically fell apart. Creative was changed with the Bloodline story on Friday to reflect the change in Raw. What happened was not what was originally scripted to happen. On the Cheap Heat podcast, Danny Davis talked about his issues with WWE's Hall of Fame ceremonies. He noted, they won't or don't want to spend a lot of money to bring myself in, a couple of my family members, put me up and all that stuff. They wait until you pass on and then they'll put you in posthumously and it won't cost them. That's a harsh thing to say, but you look at who's being inducted and you see that there are a lot of people that aren't with us no more that are being inducted. And they're trying to make it seem like we missed them. We should have done it before. I know the truth and you know the truth. It's a cost effectiveness, and that's all this business is about now, is money. One way or the other, they could put me in as a referee, they could put me in with the Hart Foundation, they could put me in as Dangerous Danny Davis. So there are options. Look at Earl Hebner, look at Dave Hebner, who just left us last year. I don't get it. I don't get it. With him hoping to get another match against the Beast, Bobby Lashley called out Brock Lesnar during an interview with the Hindustan Times. There hasn't been too much interaction between the two of us. We've had a few matches, a few interactions that have happened on screen, but outside of that, Brock's kind of a guy that kind of keeps it to himself. So there hasn't been anything back with Brock. I don't think anybody really had anything backstage with Brock, but I look forward to the matchup with him. I like the kind of contest where it can make me push myself. I like to fight. Brock likes to fight. There's a lot of similarities between the two of us. So I think that next matchup is what everybody wants to see. Will be no holds barred. It's probably going to come to a point where we're going to get locked in a cage or an Extreme Rules match or something like that, but it's about to happen. Speaking about Vince McMahon's return as chairman of WWE, Karrion Kross told San Antonio Express News that it's in my news feeds, it's everywhere, it's inescapable at this point. But the people that I have spoken to about it, like my personal friends in the business, no one's really concerned or afraid for their job. All of us are ready to adapt. I think everyone's just taking it day by day to see where everything lands, and we're all trying to remain optimistic. Talking about the Royal Rumble, he said, everybody's time is ticking in the Royal Rumble. I cannot wait for this. I've been in so many different types of Battle Royal matches, but none of them can compare whatsoever. This is a whole other animal. To me, especially growing up watching WWE as a fan, and now as a professional, the Royal Rumble is just as important to me as WrestleMania. This is a career-changing event. This can set somebody up to be a part of history forever. With many returns made to WWE in recent times, it seems another could be on the horizon. As it was reported, Fightful Select has learned that Akam and Razor, collectively known as the Authors of Pain or AOP, have been discussed for a potential return to WWE. Both were an integral part of the NXT Black and Gold brand before being called up to Raw. In addition, the possibility of their longtime original manager, Paul Ellering, was also discussed. He managed them during their NXT run before being abandoned on the main roster. The duo remained close with Ellering and got his blessing to name themselves Legion of Pain outside WWE. There were originally rumors Ellering didn't want to do the main roster travel, which he's refuted. And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all later.